What's good, everybody? It is Edwin and Irv, your boys from the Nonsensical Knowledge Podcast. What's good, Irv?
What's shaking, bro? Back to back tonight. What's going on?
Running it back, number 94, man. If you guys first time here with us, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, tap in, leave us a comment. You know what it is. We're gonna share this around a bit so we can get some people up in here. Shit's bugged out still, Irv. Shit's going crazy. Every day, something new. Let's see what we got here.
Yeah, it was a wild one. Just everybody shit.
I'm about to put a post up. Yo, come talk shit about the government. You know, let's see. We got two popping in with us right this second. Let's see what we got. Two on X. What up, X? Leave us a comment. Where you guys coming from? We're here trying to get caught up with all the crazy shit that's going on, man. That I'm still just in such awe, Irv, of the Epstein shit. Is it just me? Is anybody else out there that is just like so completely, I guess, deflated by that shit?
Everybody, man. Shit is fractured right now.
Yeah, I'm about to see if I can grab that video that I was just telling you about of Pam Bondi. So basically, there was like a reporter or something. I can't remember what it was. Let me see if I can find. Oh, here it is. Found it. Let me share the screen real quick just to get it on and popping. We'll just start off. Share this real fast. We're live everywhere else.
Yeah, sure. If
Could I just interrupt for a second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
Listen to this.
Yeah,
shit.
sure.
Could I just interrupt for a second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time? Do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
Sure. First, to back up on that, in February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I said, I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that. Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. Child porn is what they were. Never going to be released, never going to see the light of day. To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you on that. And the minute missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively the video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing he committed suicide. And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that as well, showing that a minute is missing every night. And that's it on Epstein.
What in the fuck did she just say? What did she just say to me? I'm sorry. I just got to run that back real quick. Just a couple seconds. Oh, wait. Why is my cursor all jacked? Oh, no. Oh, no.
A minute that was off the counter. The video showing definitively. The video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing he committed suicide. And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that as well, showing that a minute is missing every night. And that's it on Epstein.
What? So this essentially, for anybody watching, where we got 7 with us right now, shout out to you guys. Make sure you give it a share, hit the like button, leave us a comment with your thoughts. So essentially what she's saying is the missing minute in the video is a standard missing minute. Irv, did I hear that? Did I hear that correctly?
Every night.
Why would that be though? Why? That doesn't make sense to me.
They got caught again. They got caught. I don't know, man. They're bugged out, bro.
They got caught with their pants down, really,
They
because
got
this
caught.
is, and we would really like everybody's opinion out there that's listening too. It was kind of convenient that these files were like cleared up and shit, and then Netanyahu is at the White House like the following day, and is basically presenting a nomination for the Nobel Peace Prize to homeboy, to Trump. But how does that make you feel though, right? So when you hear Trump say that shit, and I'll just pull it up one more time. When you hear Trump say this shit, how does this make you feel? Wait, replay.
Yeah, sure. If I
Could I just interrupt for
Sure.
a second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to wait?
So how does that make you feel, Irv? With Trump basically saying, take what we gave you and eat a dick, essentially.
Just numb, dude. I didn't feel any way about it. Yeah, they said everything they needed to say yesterday with that report, man. I mean,
Yeah, I was enraged, bro. I'm still enraged.
yeah. I mean, it's really about the victims, really, at the end of the day. Like, them young, underage girls were, they were taken advantage of by powerful men, and they're not going to get any justice from it, which is the worst part of it all. Fuck Epstein, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
scumbag's dead. But what about all these girls?
There's really no end result.
No, there's no. I mean, they're really the losers in all of this.
Well,
I mean,
wasn't my bad. Go ahead.
No, you
I
go.
was trying to figure out if the what was the Caribbean? What was it? The islands down there were suing them and like setting up a fund for victims.
Oh yeah, they paid out over 150 million. They took his assets. His estate or whatever, and like they're verifying the women's claims, and they've already approved like 150 of them. Basically had legit claims against this dude, and they've gotten money for it. So that's another thing. Like, these people stepped up to the plate, said this happened to them. They did investigations and found that these people's claims was valid, and they got paid out, these women. So that's another thing. Like, women are getting paid out, not for bullshit, for shit that happened to them.
Right.
So yeah, we might want to pull that up. The assets they seized.
What
it's like
was
a fund.
So let me see if I can find it. Epstein assets.
I'll pull up one of the victims while you're looking for that.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Fuck yeah. What up, Stone? Shout out to Stone Money. What's good, baby?
Big Stone, what up?
He said, keep talking about that creep till we see that list, because we all know he's in that list.
Right?
It's seeming more and more like that every day.
I have spent the last 17 years in my own prison for what she, Jeffrey, and all the co-conspirators did to me. I was raped repeatedly. I was raped 3 times a day sometimes. And I was not the only girl on that island. There was a constant stream of girls being raped over and over and over again. And yes, Ghislaine must die in prison, because I've been in hell and back for the last 17 years.
And 27 for me.
I was 10 years old when Liz Stein was being trafficked. I was 10. That is how long the sex trafficking ring has been going on. I have
She
spent
said
the
she was
last
10.
10. 10.
Right. And so you're calling all of these people liars, but at the same time now saying that there was no clients, there was no blackmail, and what they found in the files was basically child pornography.
Yeah, he just downloaded child pornography, which a
That
dude like
shit,
him has got real shit off the dark web, like real shit.
yo, that shit is that shit drives me nuts, bro. Assets.
I mean, Cat's been saying, yo, pedos run the world, bro. So if that's the case, they're gonna look out for each other, right?
Well, yeah, well, you know what's crazy is Andrew Tate made a good point about let me see if I can find his video real quick about like what would you rather do? What would you rather do? Would you rather piss off all of the world's elite, or would you rather just fake a bunch of files and fucking piss off on these cats? Because really, like his argument was that people just want the drama. They don't want the justice. You know, they don't want the justice for the victims. They just want the drama of it. Who's in it? Who's this person? Who's that person? You know, so it's like, in a sense, he's right, you know. But why would they want to do that? Maybe this is it right here. Oh, yeah. One second. I'm going to add it to the stage. And now I know how a lot of people feel about Andrew Tate. Even a broken clock is right twice a day. You know what I mean? So, hold on one second. I'll add it to the stage.
Money is the driving force behind all politics. It always will be, because it is your primary objective to not only make people believe they can be rich, but to keep your rich people happy, to keep your oligarchy happy, and to keep them politically invested in you. So you talk about the Epstein list. I would argue it's a very similar scenario. It's all about money. It's all about who has the money and controlling the money. Is America as a country prepared to upset all of its richest people? I don't know. Is it? Is it prepared to upset all of its richest people to appease bloodthirsty brokies who don't even care about justice? They just want the drama. Another question, because I would argue that the murders that happen every day on the street are very interesting, but no one cares about that. MS-13 and all this shit, no one's really cares about that. But this Epstein list, they really care about. They want justice, sure, but it's a drama. It's interesting. They want to find out. They're curious. And I'm asking you, as a professional, you're in charge of a country. Your primary objective is to keep your oligarchy happy, to keep the wealth inside of your nation, and to make them obey you when it comes to sanctions and such other things, and to ensure that the US dollar becomes and stays the predominant currency globally. There's a bunch of bloodthirsty brokies on the internet who barely pay taxes who want to go through a list. Who are you going to prioritize? Who do you care about? I'm not saying it's fair, but anyone who believes the legal systems are fair is a dumbass anyway, because the legal system's never been fair. There's always been a who are you involved in all legal cases. So when you talk about the Epstein things, I sit and think it's all money orientated. Because broke people like to think that rich people should be held accountable like broke people. And that's a great idea. But guess what? They're not. They're not. Rich people have a different capability to fight against legal cases than a broke person. They can have better lawyers. They have better media spin. They have PR. They have news outlets. I'm not talking about myself because I'm not rich like these people. These people own news networks. They can affect public sentiment, which affects a jury, which affects their case. This is the bottom line of it. At the top level, at the top echelon of fame and money, legal cases aren't even about law. They're just a circus. If they pick you up, it's only deliberately to attack your image. It's not even about law at that point, like Trump. It was only to attack his image. With me, it was to attack my image. They didn't give a shit. They got a conviction. They got a shit about keeping me in a country where I couldn't work, trying to take away all my money and slandering me every day on the news. That's all they wanted to do. So you have to analyze these things as a professional and understand you're talking about the most powerful people in the world on this list, perhaps. And you're asking, why is the list not come out? I would argue that the most powerful people in the world, if they have half a brain, are talking to Cash and Pam and saying, look, maybe this is on, maybe I'm on that list, maybe I did something bad, but also look at all the good I've done. This. You want to appease a few Twitter autists, but it's going to have this consequence, that consequence, that consequence, that consequence, that consequence. And then as a rational adult, there's rational conversations to have. And rational conversations are about subjectivity and compromise. It's not about sitting and saying, that's the law, so that's what we're going to do. Da, da, da. And that's what we all like to believe, that the law is the law and we all stick to the law. Doesn't work that way.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and he's got a point. So the point of the matter is that, again, when you're talking these, and again, we made the argument yesterday on the podcast as well, is that like Trump did these cats a huge solid, right? Oops, son of a bitch, South Troy fireworks. Anyways, damn. Anyways, but they're essentially he does this solid for fucking all of these cats, and what ends up happening is now they're all beholden to Trump, you know. So at some point in time, the slip comes due, right? And Trump made it go away for everybody. Cash made it go away. Pam Bondi made it go away. All of these people's careers just skyrocketed. They'll leave politics. They'll go to the private sector and be rich in a sense, because they're going to go be hanging out with the Peter Thiels or the Bill Gates or this person, that person. It's all bread. It's all money. So,
Yeah.
and as you see with the weaponization of like the shit Trump got convicted of, like they wouldn't convict a regular person of most of that shit on felony counts of that stuff. You know? So like they do weaponize that shit.
Mm-hmm. Nah. Yeah, it's all money, bro. All money.
Wealth, bro. They were talking about that one shit. They had that one spot where it was like all of the rich white dudes were going. I don't want to misquote the country, but I think it was like Ghana or something like that. And they were buying the little kids. Remember? Like I can't remember what the island was, but
Kids.
it wasn't an island. It was like almost like a weird beach resort in a sense, but what these rich white cats would go there, right? And this is like a poor village. So what they would do is they would essentially offer money to the parents, and they would take the kids and abuse them. African. I'm gonna try to see if I can find a country. I swear, my Google fucking search history is gonna be hilarious. It's gonna be crazy. African country. Gotta figure out how to phrase this here. African country, rich, elite. Let's see what we got. Let's see what DuckDuckGo brings up. but there's just more places in the world. I guess the point would be that that this shit happens. It's not even just Epstein Island. It's not, and like you said, if pedophiles really, really, really run the world, bro, which at this point it's looking like they do. Well, how do you even deal with something like that? Rich elites.
Yeah, I got some Malaysian shit on mine. I buy a baby in Malaysia for 1,500.
Shut up. In Malaysia?
Yeah.
Oh man.
1,500. Shit is just crazy, man.
No, it is. This is the real world that we live in, though. Where like you can go on the dark web or the black market, like a real black market, and buy children.
Yeah.
Buy a lot of other things too. Obviously, people make the jokes of like selling kidneys and selling, whatever, but that shit's for real, man. People get kidnapped, and we're gonna run your kidneys, bro. we got a rich guy that needs a donor. That's why I don't give blood too. It's weird. I know it's kind of weird, but like with the side, like the Red Cross and all that shit is like, I don't know where that shit's going. You know what I mean? So like, we could just be feeding vampires, bro. You know what I mean? And now you have my blood type and my DNA. How do I know you ain't cloning me? Like, give all the blood you want. Sorry. Yeah, I can't find the shit about that African country. I'll have to ask one of our mutual friends what the fucking country was, but I know we talked about it probably years ago on the podcast, but
no, bro, we were doing adoption and shit. We were looking at adoption before we had kids, and that shit was the wild, wild west, bro. We had a couple we had a couple pregnant moms and shit. Like, there's all these groups, and there's like these chicks that get knocked up. They don't really want the kid. Usually poor or whatever.
Sure.
Like, you make connections with them and like go through part of their pregnancies with them, and it's like I need this medication for my baby. I need this or whatever, or like I need food, or I need my cell phone. And it's like they wouldn't ask for money, but they would be implying I need money. Like, I'm kind of short on my rent, like whatever. Like all of these families just help these pregnant women. Like, they find out about the baby, they make sure they go to their appointments, and like these young chicks are on there looking for families with money to give their kid to, but to make bank too, in a sense, at the same time. It was just, it was a crazy.
And that's and that was like your normal situation, not normal per se, but that was like kind of just accepted amongst these groups.
Yeah, it's a whole thing, bro. It's a whole subculture. We would look on this. Like, obviously your wife wants a kid. You do too, but you can't get pregnant. So like, you're going through this process, you're taking classes, the states involved, the different states.
Stop it. They know about this shit.
Yeah, social workers.
But the cash is off the books.
Cash, you can't really off the books, but rich families be like, yo, I'm gonna give you 20 racks, you know what I mean, off the books or whatever. I'm gonna buy you a dope car or whatever. And like, some of these chicks just keep having babies. Yeah, bro. Like, look at this website we used to look at. I'm gonna pull it up. It's crazy. This is New York State's website. for kids, bro. Like you literally
And
go through.
it's like the fucking pound, bro. It's
Yeah,
so
bro.
sad.
Like I could look up, pull up faces. You could find out what they like. Like you do like a little summary on it. You like what's
Jesus.
he into? What's he into? Like where's he from? Like who's his caseworker? And then like people want babies, people don't want the older kids. So it's like, oh my
It's
God,
fucking poor kids, bro.
there's a 2-year-old baby here. Like, oh, we really want that baby. But then politics come in, like, oh, like how much money do you guys make per year? Like they want to come to your house and see what's up, and then there's all this other shit. Like you gotta like give the birth parents, like on this site, this is like birth parents still have a little right. Like these are kids that got taken away, but you may have to bring them to see their birth parents and stuff like that until you adopt them. But yo, this shit is just like picking out, a puppy. Like, but
Ugh.
and this renews every day. You're like, yo, there's a new 1-year-old on this website today. Like, call up this agent. Like, yo, we're interested in this 1-year-old baby. Like, whatever. Like, it's just.
I
Yo, this
really
shit.
hope that we as a species, as like human beings, man, can get to a point where there is not a single child that has to feel that way. Listen, man, I had fucked up parents and that was bad enough, abusive, manipulative parents, and I could never fucking imagine treating my kids like that. Unfortunately, and this is kind of more towards the mental health side of things, is we kind of spoke about it last night on the podcast or after the podcast, because we could have probably went for like a whole nother hour after we wrapped up, because that's just what we do. But we unfortunately are passed down the traumas of our parents, right? So like everybody's experienced some level of trauma in their life. What trauma it is could be 1,000 different forms, but through the generations, remember like the generation where it was like, yeah, you're supposed to be seen, not heard, like it was super abusive generations before ours, we had to deal with parents that never dealt with their trauma. And this is the result is like children that have nowhere to go now because their parents just, one, don't want them, two, aren't responsible enough, three, mental health issues. And this applies for both parents. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or it's a situation where it's like, there's 7 different dads and you're going through DNA tests and some Maury shit, but these children, man, these fucking children are left to come up like that, are left to feel kind of empty and broken and like, why didn't someone want me? Like that shit. Oh, it's so sad, bro. So sad. But I hope we get to a point as a species where like we're just no child has to ever feel that way,
Oh man, there's just so many, and that was just New York State, bro. Every state has the same system, but like bring it back, it's like you could see how kids are vulnerable and can fall into trafficking, bro. Like, or maybe they give you to just a girl and then she gets a boyfriend and the boyfriend's a whack job. You know what I'm saying? Like they just want these kids to have a home so bad, but it's like the level of suffering among the kids, man, in the world is crazy. That's why this shit is just so.
Well, what's wild too about it, Irv, is like look at this, ready? approximately 460,000 children are reported missing each year in the United States of America alone. This statistic highlights the significant issue of missing children, with many cases resolved quickly, but some remaining unsolved for extended periods of time. So, like, just imagine that too, man. I'm just going to go back up to the number. So, like, how many kids are in that system, right? That you were just talking about. Where is it here? Well, too much. How many kids are in that system just in New York, right? And you have 460,000 across the United States that are going missing every year as well. Are these people just fucking dumping kids, bro? Like, what is going on? Like, the numbers just seem crazy. Like, and as we just saw with that border crisis during the Biden admin, I can't remember the figure on it, and maybe you can fill me in, but there was a certain number of children that went missing from there as well.
Couple 100,000.
Where do you put 400,000 kids, bro? In today's day and age, with Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, like, how do these, like, don't get it twisted. There are some situations where they're held hostage for a super long time and brainwashed and all of this other shit. But how do you get away with that these days, 2025? How do you get away with fucking 460,000 kids going missing?
Yo, they were shipping them to like just random families, bro. No checks, no nothing. Like separating them from their families. Like cartel had mad of them. A lot of them were being trafficked too. Let's just keep it real. I mean, that shit's crazy, man. Somebody's got to pay for that shit. You know what I mean? Like, they can't be a society that just rocks with that shit.
Well, unfortunately, we are forced, so like look at the Epstein case, for example. The Diddy shit, the constant, abusers throughout history, especially in Hollywood, when you look at all of the abused children in Hollywood, it's a culture for them. This is like ancient Rome to them. You know what I mean? This is like they're the almighty upper echelon, upper class, whatever, and we're just here for their entertainment. So really, the gluttony, the hedonism, like shit like that, that's what they do, is party and bullshit, man. And as we saw with like prior interviews with certain stars and shit, was like their schedule's different than ours too. Like, we as the peasants, we're like, yo, we're gonna go, this weekend we're gonna go hit something, we're gonna go do something. They're partying like Monday through like Thursday, and then sleeping the rest of the weekend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sex parties, NDAs, like this is what I'm talking about. Is like, in a lot of cats, especially ones like Bella Thorne, who was a Disney star, she said that they tried, like, the Illuminati type shit tried to get her, or they were abusing her before she left Disney. But it's just a culture, man. It's a fucking culture, which is insane. Like, it's, I don't know, man. I can't even believe these cats are all involved in it, to be honest. We got the wackest dimension, bro.
I know. It's really on some crazy shit.
I'm trying to find the Isaac Kappy video talking about Seth Green. Maybe this is it. I don't know if you're not yelling. Oh, wait. Okay, it's kind of weird. Trying to get this shit up a little bit here. All right. Present. I'm hoping this is the one. This dude had put out a lot of videos before he also met an untimely death. His name is Isaac Kappy. He was like a small-time actor in Hollywood, but he was exposing a lot of this shit years and years and years ago. So I'm just gonna run it.
Oprah's a fucking slave trader, guys. You shouldn't trust Oprah. Oprah is a slave trader. Oprah is a slave trader. Let that sink in. It's 100% true. Oprah Winfrey is a slave trader. Why do you think she has that school in South Africa? Why does she hang out with who she hangs out with? Oprah Winfrey is a slave trader. How is she a slave trader?
I don't know if it's a Seth Green one, but
Does the name John of God ring a bell?
$489 years. Oh, look at Oprah.
There's a reason why Oprah is so powerful, and it's not pretty. What do we know about Hollywood? We know that you pretty much have to be compromised to be at a certain level in Hollywood. Who's at the top levels of Hollywood? This is not rocket science, guys. This is not rocket science. Oh, I'm not going to talk about Tom Hanks either, who is also a pedophile. Tom Hanks, folks, is a pedophile. There's this girl, Sarah Ruth Ashcraft, on Twitter, who has been accusing Tom Hanks of raping her when she was 13. Her dad sold her to Tom Hanks. She's been accusing him for months and months and months and months and months. He's never addressed it.
Let me see if I can find the Seth Green one. But basically, there's But you see how crazy that shit is?
Mm-hmm.
Even Oprah. Damn, there's so many friggin' videos. I wish there was just one that said, yo, this one's the fucking Seth Green clip. But for anybody that doesn't know, Seth Green, obviously somewhat decent sized actor. And he basically was like said to Kappy, like, yo, we're gonna go and we're gonna go down into the basement and do what they do with kids. And I was like, allegedly he got freaked out, and let me see if I can find it on YouTube. But do you think, Irv, that these guys would be kidnapping these kids to basically, so like let's hypothetically, right? Let's get hypothetical for a second and say Pizzagate was a real deal thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they were essentially delivering kids like pizza to parties, the elite parties.
Mm-hmm.
Right? What do you think? You think that shit's actually like possible? They're like trafficking children to these parties?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, don't forget the Wayfair shit, bro.
Oh my God, I forgot all about that.
With the kids, man. Yeah.
And the Balenciaga thing.
Yeah. Balenciaga. Like, it's pervasive, bro. Like, if Nickelodeon, Disney, and all these cats can groom and do this shit, then...
Do you remember the big uproar too? Do you remember when everybody boycotted Netflix over that Cuties shit?
Yep.
Remember that? There is a weirdo normalization happening. So like take the term pedophile, and they're trying to change. There's advocates trying to change that to minor attracted person. Like
Good
it's
old
some
map.
like it's some sort of like designation, like you know
They're
what I
fighting
mean? Like
for it. They're fighting for it.
no, they really are. All right, so let me see
They're-
real quick.
yeah.
I don't think that's it. But yeah, so do you think that they could actually be doing that shit?
Oh hell yeah. Yeah, bro. I mean, they blow up little kids every day in wars and shit, bro. They could easily traffic and assault them. Like, you know, people don't give two shits about kids dying in Gaza and shit, Russia, Ukraine, kids are getting killed, Ghana, Congo and shit. Like all these countries, like kids just get brutalized. So all of this shit is totally within the realm. You send a missile to a damn
It's
playground, then
I mean, yeah, but that's
you know what I
that
mean?
to me, yeah, that to me is a little different. Like because you're just hitting a switch and this thing is going to explode somewhere across the world where you're nowhere near it. This
It doesn't
is
matter. You know there's kids there. You don't value their life, bro. You don't
no,
value
no,
their life whatsoever.
no,
You're
right,
sending
no question. I agree, no question. But it is a certain kind of sick and fucking evil, bro, to be preying on them in a deviant sexual way. You get what I'm saying?
I mean,
I think it's almost worse. You know what I mean?
I mean, death versus you could still survive and live, and like there's amazing stories of survivors who come through and are doing great work to help others that are being trafficked. So I wouldn't say it's worse. Like you could survive that shit and come out better. You might be fucked up like a lot of these people are, but death is there's no coming back from that.
No doubt. But I'm just saying the torture you're left with after, the abuse and shit. Like, because most of them they string out on drugs anyway. You know what I mean? So it's like, and then really what happens? Do they just put a bullet in them and they're just considered a dead prostitute somewhere? You know what I mean? Like, male or female, whatever. But I think this is the video. Let's see what we got.
Isaac Kappy was an actor in Hollywood, and he decided he was going to expose all of the sick things in Hollywood. If you haven't seen my video about Tom Hanks, watch that to get caught up, but I'm going to show you what he said about Seth Green. Unfortunately, Isaac Kappy passed away after forcing himself off a bridge, but he said this.
I'm not suicidal. I'm not suicidal.
Now let's see what he had to say about Seth Green.
At the end of the night, it was me, Seth, and his brother-in-law, and Seth turned to me and opened up this secret bookshelf, and he's like, "This is where we keep the children." And I was like, I tried to just put it out of my mind, but then about a month later, because Seth, Claire, and I were having a dinner at their house, and Seth said, "We now need to have a talk about chicken." And I was like, "Oh God."
Isaac Kappy was an actor in Hollywood.
Right. And so basically after that, like it's so hard to find the original Isaac Kappy videos because as you can see, they're exposing everybody. But essentially he has this conversation with Seth Green and he basically tells him, he's like, no, this is what we do. Like this is it. And but it is super ritualistic in nature.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing this to almost as I don't want to say like the selling of the soul, to the devil type shit. Like this is the payback in a sense. Like this is what you got to give up. But that's essentially what they're doing out there. And everywhere now, if you think about it, like the fucking
Pizzagate was crazy, man. I mean, yeah,
Pizzagate was wild, bro. Like, that's scary shit. If that was like real shit, like
Yes.
Obama was ordering kids,
Yeah.
like, hey, you left your napkins or whatever they were, your hanky or your handkerchief or something. You sent them an email like, oh, we left it. We cleaned it up for you, though.
Mm-hmm. Nah, bro. Like, I got at 5 years old by an older chick, man.
I believe it.
She sexually got me, made me do shit to her. And I never told my parents. I didn't tell anyone. I legit just told my mom last year.
No shit.
Like, yeah, like just in therapy and shit. And like, it just fucked my head up. I mean, you're 5 years old, bro. Like, you don't understand. Like, I thought it was gross.
You have no idea what's going on, right?
My brain couldn't comprehend. So my brain, that 5-year-old brain, just tried to survive and created this whole like safe mechanism, like to keep me safe for myself. Yeah, bro. And I didn't like even I figure like maybe when I was 18, 20, 25, 30, like I would have said something to my parents like, yo, this happened to me. I just never did. I just never did. Like, and then
Well, not only that, you probably buried it too for so long that it was more subconscious than conscious, you know.
Yeah.
And that's like that's repressed memories, you know what I mean? Like, and that's a traumatic experience, you know.
Yeah.
And it makes sense that you would instinctively do that, you know, and not so much not tell anybody, but like again, you didn't even understand what was going on in the moment.
No.
And it wasn't until you probably got into those older memories that you realized, like, wait, that actually happened.
Like 5 years of therapy, like just regular therapy, not even dealing with that. Like I didn't even remember that shit really. And then as you like start healing from shit, like you go through these different ages. Like so some shit may happen at 7, 12, whatever age it was. And then like at this point, like this shit came up. Like and I had all those feelings like I was that 5-year-old and shit. I was mad, I was sad, I was crazy bugged out. And then like actually telling my mother this shit was like the final release, yo. Like and I'm like, yo, I wouldn't be afraid today. Like just a year ago, bro. Like I wouldn't be afraid to tell her under any circumstances. So it was still that 5-year-old little boy locked in there. Like I'm ashamed. I'm not telling nobody. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But like after you heal and go through shit, like bang, then it comes up, and then I dealt with it. I was like, holy shit! It wasn't. Mom was like, yo, I didn't know. Like I wish I knew. She crying. Like I wish I knew. I would have did something. Like I wish you told me. But like I can't blame you for not telling me. You know what I mean? Like my brothers knew and shit. But like yeah, bro. So it's like I don't know, man. This shit's just wild, man. It can happen to anybody. I know a lot of people that it's happened to, like uncles, brothers, cousins, whatever it is. Like,
well, again, just like we were talking about earlier, is there's traumas that are passed down, you know. So, and if those, and this is like, this was so familiar of a thing generations ago, you know what I mean? That it was almost, it sucks because there was a time where it was like people actively looked the other way. You know what I'm saying? Like
he means well. He means well. Yeah.
Right. Or there's that creepy old uncle, or there's that, you know what I mean? Like there's, you know what it is. Everybody has it. I'm sure everybody's experienced it. But again, this is why you break the cycles, you know, and listen, man, like my parents, like, well, my father mostly was so abusive, dude, that like, I don't remember most of my childhood. Like I was looking into, hypnosis You know what I mean? Because like we were like he was so abusive, bro, that like I only remember blips of my childhood, like certain memories. You know what I mean? Outside of that, dude, blank. It's like
You
it's
don't no recollection, huh? You stopped.
no,
Yeah.
there's certain memories, and they were like traumatic ones, though. You know what I mean? Like I saw my brother get launched across the room once. You know what I mean? Like dead ass. Like he was like it
Scary
was.
as fuck.
Well, we were super little kids, and he was like, from what I recall of the memory, was he was them little tiny play school hammers. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like he was just tapping on the TV with it. You know what I mean? And my father got like super pissed, told him to, told him to knock it off, whatever. He kept doing it. He literally got up and took JR, took my brother, you know what I mean, and threw him across the room and like literally hit the back of the wall like this, boom, fell on the couch. But what was even wilder was my uncle was at the door, like my mother's brother. So when he saw that shit, he like blew the door off the hinges, you know what I mean, and beat the shit out of my dad. So like we all saw that. We all, you know what I mean? Like
So you go from that to this, you're like,
yeah.
yeah.
So it's hard. Like, so there's like some like the bigger memories, shit like that, like stuff that's like happened like that, like is kind of present. But like all the in betweens, bro, I was just a kid on an island. I was like, yo, I'm not here. Yeah, like
No.
we're not here.
No, that's what our young brains do. They build it's self-preservation. It's like, yo, what do I gotta do to make it in this environment?
Yeah.
How do I like so it's crazy that even at such young ages, like our brains are already looking to keep us safe and protect us and like whatever it is.
Well, that's the thing though, is what's interesting about that though, Irv, is that that's not always the case, right? So some people it affects differently. And now you have the mental health issues, the drug issues, the self-esteem issues, the just issues in general. Like, so it's like not everybody can have those coping mechanisms where it's like, okay, whatever, my subconscious repressed it and I just grew up an angry young man, as opposed to, dealing with shit like the shit with my father. You know what I mean? And it wasn't really, and you can ask anybody around me, it wasn't really until the day I got to punch his ass out that like everything felt better. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like I got to whoop his ass. But at the same time, it's some people just it manifests differently. And you have a psychopath, serial killer, you know what I mean? Like maybe these are triggers in people's childhoods. They didn't get hugged enough, but the abuse,
relationships can't show love or give love, like shitty parents, because you know what I mean, like it's like really like whatever I feel like whatever it is that you have to battle through, like it could take you either way, like you can come out and scrap. I think it makes it harder, obviously, but it definitely could be done.
Oh, it definitely can be done. I think the pressures of the situation are what make or break you, because don't get it twisted. Even though I had like a super abusive dad, there was people that had it worse. You know what I mean? Like even worse. Like, and that's the craziest part about it is like just the breaking of a human. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and that's why actually for anybody listening and anybody that cares, Irv and I were talking about starting like a youth outreach kind of in a sense, because there's been a lot of shootings lately, but there was one in particular here in Albany yesterday, where what was it, 6 people were shot or 6 people killed?
6 people shot. 10 people shot. 10 people shot.
10 people
10
shot.
people shot on the 4th, and 6 people like yesterday. Like
Yeah.
together, like just together.
Right. On a
Indianapolis
fucking.
too, bro. I saw the Indianapolis shit.
Wait, what do you mean?
Or, oh, same thing. Young people out bugging, like guns. Yo, lit up downtown Indianapolis, like the nicest, one of the nicest cities, bro. Two teens killed. Like 8 people shot. Like crazy all over the country. It was just like. I
Well,
don't
we
know.
watched that one video too. We're not going to show it on the podcast because we will probably most certainly get taken down most places. But Irv and I watched the video last night after the podcast of I think it was a barbecue in Philadelphia, and it was caught on a Ring camera. You can go catch it on, X or something like that. But essentially, there's a shootout going on. People are getting shot everywhere. And this is like not just like this ain't some gangster. You're in the middle of the street shooting back. They're literally using people as shields, bro, and then just dumping crazy, like not even paying attention. There's no aim. Straight reckless, violent behavior, and it was all on Ring camera. Like, if you didn't think you're gonna get fucking pinched for all them guns now, you're out of your fucking tree. Like that's going right to a grand jury.
Yeah,
And
you're going away, the dude in Albany, New York too. Stray bullet like 5 days ago.
A stray?
Stray bullet. Shot him. Came in his house. Shot him. And his dog. Shot his dog twice. One in the chest. One hit him in the side. I don't know.
These were stray bullets?
I think his was non-life threatening. Stray bullets. He was just chilling with his dog, bro. I'm like, good gracious, bro. This shit is.
Well, this is the point of the youth outreach program, and we're still trying to think about it, and we're still trying to put some effort into it. If there's anybody out there that wants to help, be a part of it. We're taking people from all walks of life, and we want to get these cats. We want to get these youngsters, man. And our idea is get them chatting, get them talking, get them fucking like, even if they want to do podcasts, like let's talk, let's chill. You know what I mean? Start the dialogue, because it's always a lack of information. You know what I mean? We grew up as young, angry men, and we know what it's like. Like, we know it's just an inherent rage, bro. That's there. You have to harness that shit and focus your energy in a positive way, as opposed to guns and drugs and fucking reckless behavior.
Yeah,
not everybody makes it out.
There, man. We took those roads.
Yeah, it's no way to live, man. It's no way to live. There's no old drug dealers. There's no, the gunplay shit is whack. You're just hurting innocent people at this point. It's not gangster. It's not cool. Switches ain't cool,
Yeah, and it's just like, it's just becoming unsafe, bro. Like, you don't even gotta be involved in none of that shit. Like the Philly shit last night. Like, I'm sure there's just people that lived on the block that had nothing to do with that shit. The way these guys are spraying bullets, bro. Like, and it's just crazy, bro. It's like, I don't know, man. You cats gotta be safe out there. Shit.
What's crazy to me, Irv, is the complete lack of respect for life, man. Like, you're just willing to fucking just take a life, give a life. You know what I mean? Like, and you're willing to sit in prison. You're willing to go and do this time. There ain't no chicks in prison, man. There ain't no good food in prison.
Yeah, that's
Like, what the fuck?
No, bro. That's like, and they don't go nowhere. They don't got no bread to like go on the run or nothing. You're going to jail, bro. You're most likely on camera too.
Today's day and age, man, it's so hard to get away with anything these days, you know. And
you're going to jail.
Yeah, but this is the point of this youth outreach thing, and it's going to take some time to put together and really kind of hammer it down and build some partnerships with it. But it's something we're going to look forward to, and hopefully help some of these cats out. It'll be basically in our area, right? Albany, Troy, Schenectady, you know, like shit like that. And we'll partner with some organizations and do some cool shit. You know, we can even get cats. You know, I might be able to, you know, maybe get some cats some barber lessons. You know what I mean? Like, there's things we can do for them, you know, and we should.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I like, part of me is like, damn these kids, and you know, a lot of people are like, oh, their parents need to do this, but like, I see a lot of parents, bro, just single parent working like 3 to 11 or some shit. You know, 14-year-olds watching siblings, like, and they're running the streets, bro. Like, so
yeah, it's hard, dude.
know,
it's hard because I know how I was when I was a kid, and I know how much I did not listen. It didn't matter what my parents said. It didn't matter what, you know, my siblings said. It didn't matter. Like, you don't realize it until you realize it, you know.
You realize it.
One day it just kind of clicks for dudes. It's like, oh, wait, okay. Let me stop being a dick, you know. But you got to get to that point, man, alive, you know.
Yeah, I was more into heist, like doing heist robbing shit or whatever, stealing bike, whatever I could get my hands on than the violence or whatever it is.
Yeah, see, I was a fighter, bro.
Some people choose violence as their thing, you know what I mean? Like, there's whatever suits you, you know, as a kid.
Well, what's great about my particular situation was it was never on my account for the most part, right? It was always for someone else, my sister, my brother, friends, you know what I mean? Fucking whatever. Like, it was never me. Like, if I was, if I was coming after you, there was like a real serious issue. You know what I mean? You know, I'm just saying, it wasn't like I was just going out knocking fucking people out. You know what I mean? But that's how my yeah, you know, I was stupid and almost like a guided missile in a sense. So like when somebody fucked with the family or fucked with the friend, it was like, oh, just point. You know what I mean? And we're just gonna go handle this. You know. But
do you think that was from your upbringing with your pops at all?
I think, to be honest, bro, I think there's a lot of things that go into it. Yeah, sure, the survival shit for you know, the fighting, I guess, to survive in a sense was there, but at the same time there's societal pressures, there's, you know, the posturing of young men, there's you know, there's a lot that like retroactively, or I guess in retrospect, I'm looking back on now, and there's a lot, dude. There's a lot. You know, you just didn't know how to handle your emotions. You didn't know how to you know, process things, I guess, in the right way. You know, everything was, you think I'm conspiratorial now. Back then it was like, you can't trust anybody, you know. But I think a lot of it, dude, was unfortunately the societal pressures that like are put on men. You know what I mean? To everybody's a lion, bro. Everybody's an alpha. Everybody's a whatever, in a sense. But that's also nature. Like, so it's like, I it is what it is. So the lines
like,
are gonna,
what is it? Yeah.
So, but this is what's interesting about the dialogue, because you don't know, like you have to really get into the conversation to be like, all right, no, there was this, but there was also that, and then there was this, and then that, and then combination. It's like a cocktail, and now you're the ticking time bomb, and you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it is.
It's
multi-layered for real. Influences.
But I'll credit 1000% credit psychedelics, dude, to getting me over the hump. You know what I mean? Yeah, for sure. Like, definitely. Because it was like, it just removes all that ego. The ego is still present, it's still there, but at the same time, not in the same way that it was. It's like you get that ego death, man, and it's like, wait, you are microscopic, bro. It's like you kind of care a little less about, I guess the gravity of everything. So then it's all love. You know what I mean? It's all love, man. It's like, it's the negative energy, bro. It's just no good for anybody. See what we got here. We still got 5 on X, 1 on Facebook, 1 on Twitch. I ain't seen Rumble yet. Not on Instagram. We gotta start getting this Instagram presence up.
We have been having a problem.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, there's been an error message. I don't even think
that's probably why. That's probably why. Because we've actually been crushing it on the reels lately for Instagram. So, but we appreciate everybody for kicking it with us tonight. We're gonna be getting more into, like, some of the mental health side of things going forward. We're hoping to get a couple people on to talk to as well, a couple therapists and shit like that. And we're trying to make sure everybody's right out here.
Yeah, man. And approaching 100.
Now we're coming in hot. Coming in hot, man. That's why I really can't wait to get into the studio, man.
We are moving.
Yup. Cruising. I love it. That's why I was like, when you were like, yeah, I'm with it, to go back to back, I was like, fuck yeah, let's knock 2 of them out real quick.
Okay, let's do it.
A little Monday, Tuesday action.
Oh, that's right. It is Tuesday. Wednesday in a few minutes.
I know, right? Be all 3 days here.
So
in a couple
this
minutes.
shit's just going. Yeah, right. Rolling into it.
So, what do you think we got coming down the pipeline here? What do you think we're gonna see here in terms of news? I guess. Obviously, the Epstein shit's dead. They're gonna put that shit to bed.
Yeah. Epstein shit should be up. Nah, they just woke that shit up. People are not gonna let that shit ride. Elon's on it too.
America party, baby.
Steve Bannon's on the Epstein list. Elon
he did too.
Tonight. He did. Yeah. Like, so cats are like, yo, did Elon get a peek at this stuff or what? What's going on?
So, what do you think? Do you think, because obviously he came out and went DEFCON 5 on Trump and said he was on the list, and that's why it hasn't come out. I would have to imagine with Doge and everything else and how tight everyone was, he got a peek at something, in my opinion. I don't know if it's true. I don't think he would come out and say that if like, because Bannon would sue him, probably, right?
He would sue him. I don't know. They were using AI, bro. See, that's the problem with these tech guys. Is like you let them in your shit. It's the same as crypto, bro. Like they know their way around the internet and technology better than anybody. So they're the ones that can scam you. They're the ones that can infiltrate your computer. Like he was all up in there, bro, with the smartest of smartest tech guys working for him. Like could have did some shit, bro. And they were using AI scanning the entire system. You could have some shit. If he's smart and he knows how politics are.
What do you think the Iranians got? So did you see that that allegedly the Iranians had hacked into a bunch of Israel and America's shit, and they were allegedly releasing 2 terabytes of fucking information that was allegedly somewhere along the lines of the Epstein list.
They had that and some alien shit. I saw.
Oh, the Iranians, right?
Yeah, they got some more on that the Nordic shit for real.
Oh yeah. That was well, they said it back in the Iranians said in like 2014.
Yeah, they're back
that
on
Trump,
that shit.
That America was run by Nordic aliens. Bro, this shit is gonna be fucking crazy, bro. This shit is gonna be wild. If this actually like these people actually show up, or these extraterrestrials show up, and you got the 9-foot tall Nordic, like this reality is going crazy.
Has there been anything about Nordics and children?
I guess off the top of my
anything
head,
out there, or
I guess off the top of my head, I can't say that there is anything that sticks out in particular. But what is, I guess, interesting is that they were saying that a lot of these kids that go missing every year were actually being sent out to, and Corey Good, I think, was one of them. Captain K said it. A couple of them 20-year and back cats were saying that there was like people being transported to the moon and to like Mars and like Antarctica and shit to mine. So in a sense, you'd probably want to get children. They're at their healthiest. They're at their, you know what I mean? Like you get the longevity out of them. But that was one of the things is that they were like trading humans, you know what I mean? Or, children in a sense. So for tech.
Yeah.
There you go. Here's 400,000 kids, dude. Let us get that fiber optics.
Some kids. 400,000. Yeah. Or if you need to repopulate your shit, bro.
Well, another interesting thing is if they have been breeding with our species, then there would have to be hybrids, right? So there would have to be hybrids. There would have to be people, and maybe they don't know. Maybe they just don't know it. You know what I mean? But they have to have extraterrestrial, Nordic DNA, Anunnaki, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? But there has to be hybrids. So where are the hybrids? You know what I mean? They wouldn't be taking the hybrids and bringing them to work. They'd be taking our species, which say it's like this too, Irv, is like, yo, the Anunnaki had us as slaves back then, and they just show up again, created now, okay, we'll at least give you the respect of a deal, right? Well, at least Okay, you guys got a couple nukes, whatever. You're cool. We'll give you a deal. We'll give you tech, we'll give you information if you give us more slaves. Like, that's what we made you guys for anyway. And think of slavery in the sense of how it is now and how it's still culturally acceptable in parts of the world.
I mean, shit, fucking slave for money. For this money system, you know what I mean?
That's exactly what we all are.
Yeah.
It's different.
Like,
it's a different, you know.
Yeah.
Pac
like
said it
money,
best.
Yeah.
You know, jumped into another form of slavery. It's it really is. Now it's everybody, you know. But in parts of the world, there is still very much so the traditional slavery going on. So it's like
real shit, yeah.
You know, so hey, it just fuck it. Let us get the fiber optics. Let us get the lasers. Let us get this. Let us get that.
Yeah, I just found out some shit about Gaza. There's African Gazans, and the Gazans call them like Abdib, which in Arabic is like slave. And these Africans over there in Palestine and Gaza, like, they're called slaves. They used to be slaves there, but they're like the lowest of the low in those areas. And that shit just blew my mind because I'm like thinking of like the conditions there, and then to be the lowest of the low in that area, I'm like, yo, your life's gotta be fucking hard, bro.
Yeah. Well, throughout the world, there's caste systems. I want to say it was maybe Hindu or Buddhism, India, something like that. But there was like a caste system, is what it was called. And it's the same thing as anything else, bro. It's the same thing as the kings, the queens, the nobles, the fucking feudal system. You know, this guy is a fucking what they used to call him. What were they, bro? Duke. This guy's the fucking Duke of York. You know what I mean? Like,
what area? The Duke.
What's that?
Duke of fucking Earl. Why do we still have Dukes? Come on, we still have Dukes and all of that shit.
Yeah, but this shows you the hierarchy. You know what I mean? This shows you the hierarchy. It's like, no, bro, there's still kings and queens. There's still presidents and vice presidents, and you know, so it's like there's still this hierarchy of caste systems. It's like, okay, you have the elite, then you have the wealthy, then you have you know, then you have the poor. You know what I mean? Like, and the middle class the middle class has been eliminated. You know what I mean?
Yeah, haves, nots.
So
this planet is
it's weird, bro.
It's a weird fucking
Imagine that being like, yo, I have all this wealth. You mean nothing.
Absolutely nothing. No matter your age, neither.
Right.
You are my play toy.
Yeah. So it's interesting because we'll never get out of that system. You know, it's just, I don't see it. We'll always have some sort of system like that. So yeah, even though that cat was in Gaza and he was at the lowest of the low, we have that here. Go down 4th Street. You know what I mean? Like, those are the cats that are like, you know, the seriously, I guess, disturbed people, you know what I mean, that are like on the street, living on the street type shit. That is the same system. You know what I mean? See it in that. You see it in American society. You know, oh, that's cool. I see the fucking Rumble, the Rumble comment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Checking that shit out.
No, that's cool. I'm glad it works.
Yeah.
We just gotta get people engaging.
Mm-hmm.
We'll
They
get
got a
going
pretty
though.
Yeah, they got a pretty good system. You
StreamYard?
can mute Rumble. You can
Oh,
mute
Rumble.
you can mute cats for 5 minutes.
We can?
Yeah.
Oh shit. That's wild.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. We're we're doing our thing, man. Appreciate
sir.
everybody out there always checking in, tapping in.
Yep. Hooking up the fucking socials. You guys are the shit. I guess we'll wrap this one up, and then if you want to run one maybe in a couple days, we can get back at it. Now we're in the Wednesday, so we've streamed 3 days in a row technically.
Bang,
So
bang.
yeah. So again, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Irv, break them off.
Yo, thanks for chilling tonight. Definitely come back. We're approaching 100. We're going to do something big for that. Appreciate you guys. Stay safe.
Keep your head on a swivel. Peace out.